All right, we're back with part two. Still here with Miss Malika Williams from the Live Outreach
The
and the Live.
live.
My bad, because it's live.
Yeah. It's lit
It
too.
be lit, you know. So, all right, and Malika is lit, so that's why it's the live. Is she live? But it's the Live
Live.
Outreach because she's
Yes.
trying to live. Live. All right, so we were talking about therapy, about how kids in the inner city,
Yeah.
you know, people of color are going through these traumas and nobody's helping them.
Yeah.
They're not having any type of counseling.
Or interactions where you got peer support groups. I think
Yes.
that is really important because a lot of times with these kids, they socially awkward. They don't have to. You got to think now. I always say this: kids don't have to go and up to the girl and
No.
say, "Hey, how you doing? I like you. Do you like me?" The little
Text.
note. They could text, they could DM, they
What
could.
you
So
doing?
you not getting a real rejection.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of fishing.
So you don't. And guess what? I done sent you and about 10 other girls the same message I sent you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you rejected, it ain't.
It
I
don't
mean,
matter.
somebody gonna bite,
It ain't hit
right?
the same. Yeah.
So it's not the interaction of how the kids interact is a lot different. By me mentoring and dealing with the kids is completely different in how keeping them engaged. It takes a lot to keep them intrigued. So
Yes.
it's funny, I'm telling one of the kids, I go in and we normally do a vision board and, I'm just letting them know like, hey, I was, young and I made these kind of decisions and I ended up going to jail. And so, of course they want to know, now they intrigued, well, what you go to jail for? What you do? So I'm
Wait,
like,
what do they call you?
they was like, they called me Malika. They called
Okay.
me by my name. And what you go to jail for? And I was like, I had 2 counts of attempted murder. I had a situation with my baby daddy, other baby mama. And the one little girl was like, type shit. Type shit.
Oh my
Oh.
Ooh,
God. Yeah.
sorry with the cussing.
That was a
But
kid.
it just threw me off because I'm like, I would have never
Yeah.
said that to an adult.
Yeah. Oh, they don't see you as an adult.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't see a lot of people as adults. They don't
We
see a
all
lot of.
equals.
They don't see a lot of
Social
adults.
media made us all equals. We're
Yeah.
all equal now.
Half the
We're
adults
all
out here acting
peers.
like kids.
And I hate that for us because it is levels.
Yeah.
That means you can't go respect your boss at the job, or you don't know how to
Yes.
take a criticism or
Yes.
think feedback when you are in the workplace or other at school and things like that. It's just the thing of it is like we live in a world that's like delusional.
Yes.
Everybody move in
Sounds
a
like
way
us.
that is like it's not realistic,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. You can't say anything about certain things. You're ridiculed. You're
People making
canceled.
themselves
You
be whatever they
blackballed.
want to be.
But we supposed to be the country of where it's freedom of speech and this that and other. But as long as you don't offend the
somebody.
majority,
Right.
The majority specifically.
then you can
Not
have your
everybody,
freedom of
not
speech. So
somebody.
it's like as long as it's
I
black
agree with
people,
what
the
you
the
say.
lowest people that the society feel is nobody. So they can treat us bad as much as they want.
Talk to
Nobody
them all you
really is
want
gonna
to.
really. Ain't
Say
nobody
nothing.
really gonna care about that.
Exactly.
But then if you talk about maybe the LGB or some
other
political
communities. Right,
things
right.
like that, then it gets a little bit more heightened. And I feel like we are all entitled to our own opinion. So it's just some things I just feel like it puts people, especially us bringing the next generation up, is not a realistic ideal. And then they invite AI to enhance the illusion of what we are already dealing with. Now, with that, honestly, I feel like I know this might not be good to say, but I feel like I'm glad that this is a temporary stopping ground for me. My
Okay.
spirit wouldn't be able to, the way that people think and the way that the world is going wouldn't be a place that I feel like in 100 years from now that I would want to be at. So I'm glad it's just
Exactly. We're
yeah, it's another place that is going. Yeah, and I don't look at it in a negative way, like because it's
just passing through anyway.
you make your mark.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do while you here. You let the universe embark that on you, and then you move forward. And that's why I'm glad it's just. I'm like these people act like they're gonna be here for a long time.
Yeah,
Y'all
forever,
making
yeah.
changes and stuff on the earth that y'all only temporarily only gonna be here. So it's like
y'all?
all the people that's behind that is gonna be the people that's really affected
We
by
talk
that.
about that macro as opposed to micro. There's so many micro people out here. They're not thinking about the big picture. We're supposed to be leaving something, creating something that others can grow from. Not just
People are
enjoying,
selfish.
just so selfish, so
People
selfish,
are it's a lot of
and
selfishness.
self-centered. Yeah.
And you know, you were saying something. I was thinking about the kids. So now you want to do, you saw that it was something missing. You said, I want to provide access. I'm dealing with all of these things. What made you, what's your goal with the bus?
So for the mobile hub, the idea was because we've had so many situations where we have families of single parents where they could bring the kid but they can't pick them up, things like that. So we wanted to implement where we could kind of meet people where they are. How can we have resources and referrals and different things like that and be able to come into the community where we can partner with schools, libraries, like rec centers, and say, hey, for an example, we with the main library every second Tuesday of the month, and we there for an hour. And people know, hey, we have fresh fruit and free books and,
Yeah.
toiletry items and things like that. And then we
You're
will
there
have,
when?
I was saying this is just an
Oh, just,
example.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm saying, like, say if we had a collaboration or a partnership where we like, okay, every first Thursday or Tuesday of the month, we at this location or that location, and we give out these certain entities for the community to be able to have access to. On top of, one of the things we want to do is provide referrals, but specific referrals. Because one of the things that I notice is, like, you call 211, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
they give you the number to like 10 things. Okay, you need utility assistance. They give you 10 numbers. This
Yeah,
person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Because all they is a resource hub to give you
exactly.
resources. But out of the 10 people, it's only 3 people actually when they really check off what you really need and your
Right,
eligibility. Only these 3 entities could really help you.
right.
Besides these, the other 7 that's on there. And I feel like how discouraging that
I
is.
agree. I hear you. I hear you.
I don't want to go through two. I didn't been on the phone with you. I didn't gave you all my information. We didn't went through this. Now you giving me another list of things where I have to go through
Yes,
that. And then guess what? Most of the time when I go through that, they not gonna even be able to help me half of these people that's on there,
Right.
right?
exactly.
Because once they say, okay, well, how much money do you make? What district do you live in? What's the? Oh,
Hmm.
well, yeah, we can't help you. So okay, that's one person. It's so discouraging, and so one of the things that I noticed is for just overall for our people, by me being a felon and I got my record expunged. And they got this. I'm just using this as an example too.
Okay.
I've done this, but I'm just using this as how I notice systems is designed for not us, right?
Right,
Because it's
right.
like if it's so many steps to it, it's like I might not have no transportation. I might not have the extra money to pay for the fees for that. I might not have. So what do you know what I'm saying? And this is how people kind of be had a prolong of getting their license back
Mm-hmm.
and just all of these things that should be more
Yes,
simple.
yes.
Oh, it's a million fees. Remember what was that fee when you rode without
No license.
no insurance, and it was a fee $250 you used to have to pay the state. I cannot remember what it was, but so many people lost their license because of that. Because it was this fee that they would charge you for that, and of course,
Then it had
I
compound
barely got the fee for
interest.
the money for the tickets, let alone for the extra stuff to pay the state.
Exactly.
So when I got my record expunged, I go through the expungement fair. So say it's 10 steps for you to get your record expunged. They might be there to only help you with 5 of those. Now I'm gonna tell you kind of like direction on how to get to the other 5, but then like you got to do the work.
So it's a breakdown of the support.
So I had to you got to go get your fingerprints on 19 Mile. I had to go, particularly my specific situation. I had to go to like 19 Mile or wherever the Macomb County Jail area is out there. So it's kind of far. I had to go all the way out there, get my fingerprints. I had to take a couple of copies, one to the Frank Murphy. So to me, I just feel like it's so much of a breakdown that somebody if I'm a regular hood dude, I'm not about to go do that crap.
And
You
we're
know what
not
I'm
talking
saying?
about
Like,
the illiteracy. How many can't read for real? I'm running into people. They really need the help. You know what I mean?
yes. Did you see the
Functionally.
literacy rate? They said that half of the city of Detroit adults is illiterate. That's basic. That's supposed to be factual. That's not even an opinion.
It's not. And I volunteer for Oakland County Literacy Committee. So I know seeing it's grown ups, but living lives, functional
Yeah.
in so many ways. And my dad was. My dad was functionally illiterate. My dad had a third grade education.
What did he do for a living?
Came from Georgia. He, of course, he worked at the plant, but then he became worked as on construction plants. Then he fixed cars. He was like me.
So he was a jack of all trades,
Yes.
but he probably really couldn't. It was something else I seen where it was a man like that that really couldn't count. He really couldn't count. He really couldn't read. He really didn't know. But his wife, he depended on her to do a lot of the
That's how my
stuff.
grandparents were. My grandfather's sixth grade education, and he
Mm,
ended up getting a business. He owned a party store, but he worked 31 years at Cadillac. My
wow.
grandmother, she ran the business, and she did a lot of the paperwork and everything, taxes.
You see, and that's what I'm saying, because that's how a lot of people was getting cheated,
Yeah,
because they didn't
exactly.
know how to count, and they
Yeah,
did.
they didn't have anybody they could trust.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's sad. When I look, I still have an old check of my dad's, and my dad died in 2000.
Mm.
So I'm dealing with my whole other trauma. But looking at it, it's like, wow, Daddy, how did you survive with us with all of
Hmm.
this? So he was a jitney. He came home. He was the man. He was one of the fewer only dads on the block too,
Hmm.
but couldn't read. And my mom would send me with him to read street signs.
Mm.
Like I can read, okay, and I really see that growing up, that illiteracy. So I'm like, you know what? All these things God create and put you in this world, you're supposed to use. All this stuff is happening to you to use it, but not
Yeah.
just for your own benefit, to help other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
So with the van, but just like that, that's why I'm like, I find these people. It seems like the ones of us that really want to help are are struggling, and it's like what? But then you see the other people, and you be like, man, you.
Because they're helping. Like she was saying, how'd you lose your houses? Well, we got our own house and everything was fine. Then we had a family friend who was losing their house. So we came in to try to bail them out, took on their house, and tried to rent it out, but trying to help them get out of a debt situation.
Mm.
So
Then the guy
sometimes,
who rented the house couldn't get utilities in his name.
yeah,
So then we, you know what? We let you get him in our name.
yeah,
It was all of this,
yeah, always,
all of
always
this.
trying to help pull somebody
And ain't
along.
nothing wrong with that. It's just
No,
now that it's a learning lesson.
yeah,
It's just now we understand boundaries and certain things that we just sometimes we have to say. And so that's why I'm trying to understand too with my own life where it is where you do sometimes have to be selfish. I do feel like, and I even though naturally you feel so bad saying that, but I feel like when you look at people and then when they and they selfish, and even if that's just them or
yeah,
they
yeah.
just like I'm thinking about me and this is just what I'm gonna be. It seemed like it's something that sometimes is needed
Hmm. It
because
is.
guess what? Who else gonna be selfish about you?
Man.
Ain't nobody
Nobody,
else is gonna be
nobody.
selfish about you but you.
And you ought to be. It's okay to be selfish. That's I'm in there now. I went through the block party last week. I did. I went and blocked some people in my family. I just block. We blocking. I'm like, no. Then I'm getting all these phone calls. You okay? I'm good now.
Because sometimes I feel like we are bound and programmed to things because that's just what we've been taught.
Yeah.
That's what we've been
And
taught.
so, like, a lot of times you might feel a relief when somebody ain't talking to you. Like, oh, I'm glad she ain't call me. Oh, I'm
Exactly.
glad they ain't call my line. Thank God. You shouldn't feel like that, but you should know that that means a boundary needs to be in place. If
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you are feeling like to a
Hmm.
capacity, like, and so if that's what you got to do for your peace, hey, I need to take a break. I need to take. But one of the things
Yes.
too I think is important is letting people know why you are doing that. Because some people act like they is so oblivious to why you don't want to do. I don't know why she stopped. I
Just
would
don't
we and
spend a
her
lot
would.
of time on it.
That's it. Exactly. Don't
Yeah.
spend a lot of
Don't
time
let it
on
get
it,
too
but I
long
will
with
be
the
transparent to
distractions.
let you know why we are
Yeah.
where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am gonna get to that after I get on my petty stage. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself a minute to go through it. That's
Yeah.
something too. Like, you
Yeah.
know what? Because I wanna preserve the relationship, and I got some ugly things that I need to say, but I need to work it out so that it don't come off so ugly, so it can be beneficial to the relationship instead
Yes.
of detrimental.
Yes.
So I'm working through it. Okay.
Join, join the party.
Yeah, but always been the yes, yes, yes. I'm like no, and even like talking about with live outreach. I almost was wanting to say live. Now it's like stuck in my
Yeah.
head. But with the live outreach, right? You know how you saying this is what they don't know about founders. So we still be working. We still be doing these things. We're waiting. But something I started realizing recently, because you start seeing people like, dang, they killing it. What's going on? Why can't I get some traction? But you know what I'm starting to notice? Some of us with the real purpose work, not the vanity work,
Right,
but that
right.
purpose work, you see you getting a benefit. You making a difference in lives, real lives, people who didn't have nobody else they can't get that access to no help. So I'm like, wow, with the live outreach, you're able to do that, and you're able to do it in a way like, okay, yeah, this is me. I'm working to do this thing. I have this thing that I believe in. People be telling you got to focus only on that. Do you deal with people telling you, look, you got to stop? You just can only focus on one thing. You can't
I
be doing
think at this time now, since I've been doing it so long,
Yeah.
I've proven so many people that it's like, this is what I want to do. And that's the thing. Like I told one of my aunts, I said, you know what, I could be further if I had more support. I've been showing that I'm showing up for it. It ain't like it's something that I've been telling.
Yes.
That's like somebody saying, hey, I want to be a chef and I want to cook, and they don't put no efforts in doing none of the stuff that to show you that for you to support them. But you've been seeing me show up, and I've been relentless with, being there, a part of the community, whether I'm volunteering with somebody else's or
Yes.
however that might be. And so one of the things that I love is I feel like who you need to take with you, God gonna allow to go with you.
Mhm. Mhm.
We want who we want to go with us, because of course you want your aunt, your favorite aunt, you want your
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
auntie and all
Yes.
your
Yes.
cousins. You want them to be the people,
Yeah.
because ideally that's really what you would want. I mean, that
Yeah,
would feel good
Yes.
to
absolutely.
be
Have
able
your
to say, yeah,
family.
my whole family, they supported me, and this is why we got where we was at. But realistically, that's not always the case. And so you have to kind of take a step back to realize, you know, God gave the vision to you,
Yeah, they
and you
can't
gonna be
see
the
it.
only one that's gonna see it like that. And so even though I can sit here till I'm blue in the face and say, hey, this is really my vision, how I think that a bus is, until I just pull up on you and say,
Bam. Yep.
let me show you how the bus look. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Some people need to see that. They
Like
physically
many.
need you to pull up
Mm-hmm.
with the bus all the way renovated for them to realize, even though I physically got the bus now, it's not
Yes.
renovated.
Yes.
I
Yes.
physically got the bus, they still don't see the vision. Now remind you, wait a minute. I didn't have the bus before then. They didn't see it when I was talking about it before I got the bus then.
Right.
Then you got the bus. They still kind of, you did say you was going to get a bus. I see you did get the bus, but I mean, it ain't renovated. It ain't like you doing nothing with it right now.
Right.
You see what
Right.
I'm saying? It's almost like you got to be the person that's on headline and head news for
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
somebody to realize that you serious in what you're doing. Those not the people that I want with me.
Exactly.
And
Keep
that
up.
comes so much
Exactly.
later. Most people in nonprofits was doing the work way before they started even their nonprofit. I
Exactly.
want to highlight you. 2014, you start. You
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So you've been working way longer than that.
Yes.
So I mean that's huge. Yeah, yeah,
People don't realize, they think that you start working after you got incorporated or
yeah,
whatever, your 501c3 or whatever it is, or you got the name on the wall, or you in
yeah,
a studio, you got a physical building,
yeah,
but they don't see all the grunge work
yeah.
and all. And then that's I was
And how
thinking
people don't be paying themselves, they doing this stuff, not
Man,
getting
coming
any
out their
type of money.
pocket. Yeah,
And that's the thing. Sometimes, like long time, I was coming out of my own money. We wasn't
yeah.
having no money enough to be able to do some of the events, so I might have had to come
exactly.
out of and remind you, I'm already struggling in
Struggling
my own
yourself.
financial
Yeah,
I
situation.
know.
So it's
yeah.
kind of like that's why I know it was something like it's just embedded in me. And every time, and it ain't been that many times, maybe like once or twice, I'm like, maybe am I really like God is? I should be really, because you
Yeah, you
kind of
gonna
question it,
question.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
And
yes,
then
yes,
something that
yes.
happened where it's kind of like his assurance to let me know, like, yeah, it's okay. You might get that phone call, or here go a small grant, like just
Mm-hmm.
some type of something. Like, and even though
A
it's been
little
like a
bit.
little bit of
Mm-hmm.
breadcrumbs, I feel like ultimately it's gonna be so much more rewarding, more
Yes.
than I would have ever imagined it for it to be. And so that's what that's what I really feel in my whole gut and my stomach. That's really what I feel like. I feel like it's like going to the end of the rainbow. You always hear about what's at the end of the rainbow? What's at the end of the rainbow? You don't really know. You done heard the stories, right?
right,
But you don't really know. It might not be nothing at the end of the rainbow,
right,
but
right.
I want to experience it for myself. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that.
I was thinking while you were talking, like, who do I know? Because so now what you need is sponsorship. I want
Yes.
to help you get that bus refurbished and running. And it should be funds available because your target is young girls,
It's youth,
youth.
males and females between the ages of 10 and 17.
That's excellent.
So we do things like financial literacy, dietary education. We do yoga, meditation. One of the things that we really want to focus on is mental health because one thing that we noticed during that time of the pandemic, that's when we noticed a large amount of like the social awkwardness and the social, I feel like these kids have a hard time like interacting.
They
And if
really
you
do.
ever notice anybody that's young, not saying that all the time, but I'm saying like college bound, because I had an intern that worked with me last summer. It's kind of like the empowerment and the being confident and being self sufficient. I just kind of feel like we wasn't them kind of kids. Like they gave us a task and they
Yes.
told us what the outcome of what we wanted. We didn't have to be spoon fed or led or somebody got to
Yes.
hold your hand and
Yes.
you got a task. You know how to complete it. If you had questions, you asked. Now it's kind of like you got to be, all right, sit and do this. And after you finish with that, I
Yes.
need you to come back and do this. And I need you to, and so no, it's a thing where I'm like, it's to me, a kind of like a lack of confidence. But I
Yes.
don't know if that's even because it's a lack of communication. Because listen, I'm not going to lie. I can lay in my bed and text my son, bring me some ice water. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He come and bring me some ice water. We ain't said nothing to each other.
So it's a development
It's
of it.
time for you to go to bed.
Right. Because we're
It's
using
time for you to get in the
technology.
shower. You see what I'm saying? So now it's starting to be where you ain't got to interact with your kids either. Like it's no interaction.
No,
So I feel like sometimes
human to human.
we are lacking that a lot. Even in the workplace. I'm gonna email you. Email me, girl. I talk. I don't want to talk to you about it. We just gonna email each other.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So the
Yes.
human interaction. Because let me tell you, I went to I want to say Philadelphia, and I went on one of them old prison tours. It's like an old prison tour. I want to say they said like Al Capone was in this particular prison. It's not a prison that's open, but they let people tour it and all of that, right?
Okay. It's at Lewisburg, maybe.
And so they had these headphones that you can listen to about, one of the things they used to do is when you killed people back in like maybe I guess the early 1900s or late 18, whatever, very back then, you didn't get like 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, right? They'd give you like 2 or 3 years, but you would be in like solitary confinement
Hard
the
labor.
whole time where you wouldn't have no interaction with nobody else. And what they said was that is basically like a scientific fact that people cannot be without other people. Like we have to have the interaction, the connection, the talking. Like you have, like this is why people will lose their mind. So if you go for 2 or 3 years where nobody talks to you, in 2 or 3 years you can lose your capacity, no matter how educated you is. Because it's something that we need.
Humans need human.
You need that interaction. I need to talk to somebody. No matter how much of you an introvert and people say I don't like people, you still got your people that you still deal with. It's
Right,
still
right.
people. You still got even the
Some
people that are
connection.
weird and don't have nobody that they deal with. Like the people that you like, oh, I know they ain't got no friends. They
They
ain't,
have
or
somebody.
they still got work, right? They still go to work every day, or they might still go to school. They still have some type of interaction, even if
Go to
they
the
not
gas
doing it at
station,
home.
Get coffee in the morning or whatever.
And
they
a lot
do.
of people
You
do
know the
stuff.
people at the store. That's what I'm saying. That's why people have, my favorite grocery store, or this is the place I like to go to. I go to the cafe every morning to eat my breakfast. That's still an interaction. Even though you ain't gotta like people
Yes.
like that, you're still interacting with people.
Yeah, and they come in there. I see 'em.
Some people do bad things just to get some human interaction.
That's what I'm trying, because they want attention.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing. So when I learned that, I say, wow, how like the system is almost like everything is systematic if you think about it. So y'all mean to tell me y'all didn't study the people to know that people need human interaction, and to break a human person all the way down is to take away that human interaction. And so
yes,
like
yes.
that's what, like when prisons was first invented, that was their thought process with that. You wasn't getting 50 years for murdering somebody. But guess what? We could do 3 years and you don't have no interaction with nobody the whole 3 years. And let's see, and then it's like, let's see how you come out of that
Right.
after you ain't had no human interaction in
Back
3
in that
years.
Community with people, and they wonder what happened to you.
And so
What
that's why I
happened?
felt like when you think about how the system, like a problem starts occurring and you not rehabilitating, you kind of
No,
like enhancing already what might be already a problem
that's what you're
on to
doing.
maybe a bigger thing.
That's funny you're saying that because, when interviewing some people who have been incarcerated and coming back talking about, man, ain't no rehabilitation going on, right? You got to rehabilitate yourself. I mean, that is possible. I do
Yeah,
believe in that.
it's communities within communities.
But it is communities within
Yeah, you
communities.
get three, four, five people, on a positive track. You know,
It's,
I met a Mr. Olympia inside the federal jail, helped me lose 100 pounds.
yeah.
I mean, it's people looking out for you. Bring me fruit. He's stealing fruit for me. You know.
Yeah, y'all become, and it's interesting because one guy we were interviewing, he was saying he found out he was exonerated, and he left 2 days after. I mean, 2 hours. He found out he was in jail, and they told him you free, and then 2 hours later he out of there. And so when he was talking about it, he was like, and it was kind of emotional because he left people. People like,
Yeah.
you wasn't ready to go. He's like, yeah, I made community. I done been in there 22 and a half years with these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm innocent.
Right.
He said, and there's some real innocent people in there.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I'm dealing with these people, and you're dealing with, and then I'm coming home to a community like, and then you're not supposed to associate with those people. Like, where are you supposed to get your support system from if you can't? That's what I wanted. That's a whole nother thing. But I'm like, where are you supposed to get the support from?
And listen, it was a few groups that I had been in contact with through the Wayne Pediatrics do or Wayne State University do something with the medical students. Remember, I was telling
Right,
you where
right.
it was some people on there that had been, what is it, exonerated,
Mm-hmm.
and the point of this panel is to discuss like the disparities in the health industry and how like you could you in prison and people think you're lying, you say you in pain and they don't believe you, how people
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so we talk in front of medical students to discuss like these are some of the things I went through, and as a medical profession going into that, these are things that I hope you would look
Mm-hmm.
forward to and be
Right.
open to. And so one of the guys was just telling them like being human, but he was basically saying being locked up, I guess if you was like a person that worked in a prison and you was cool with one of the prisoners, that was a no. It was like, I guess you
Yes.
gotta
Yes.
treat
Yeah,
them a
yeah,
certain
yeah.
type of way. You can't be
Exactly.
nice to
Arms.
them.
Exactly. Arms reach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it was just things like that. I just felt like it's just so sad because we people in prison are
They're
still
waiting it
humans.
out. So I'm gonna do another quick one. I'm just gonna pause for a minute, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna finish this up, and then we're gonna do part three with Malika.